What could possibly be more dangerous than a nuclear bomb, you might ask? Well, when we think of dangerous weapons, we often jump to images of atomic mushroom clouds and vast fields of nuclear fallout. But the concept of danger extends beyond sheer destructive power. In fact, there are weapons out there that, while perhaps not as visibly dramatic as a nuclear explosion, pose threats that are just as serious, if not more so. Let's consider biological weapons. These are not your typical explosives or firearms. Instead, they are designed to spread deadly diseases and cause widespread illness and fatalities. The unpredictability of these biological agents, coupled with the difficulty of controlling their spread, make them a significant threat. It's not just about the immediate impact, but also the long-term effects these diseases could have on populations and societies. Now, let's move into the digital realm. Cyber weapons have emerged as a new breed of threat, capable of disrupting critical infrastructure, compromising sensitive information, and destabilizing nations, all without the need for physical destruction. As we become more and more reliant on digital networks, the potential for cyber attacks to cause chaos and damage increases exponentially. And then there's the advent of advanced autonomous weaponry, including drones and robotic systems. These weapons operate independently, sometimes with artificial intelligence at the helm, leading to a host of ethical and security concerns. The risk of unintended consequences and the loss of human control are very real and very worrying. So, when we talk about dangerous weapons, it's crucial to consider a range of factors. It's not just about the destructive power, but also the ease of deployment, the potential for indiscriminate harm, and the long-term consequences on global stability and security. Each of these elements contributes to what makes a weapon dangerous, and it's this broader understanding that allows us to truly assess the threats we face. So, let's dive deeper into the types of non-nuclear weapons that could pose an even greater threat to our world. Imagine a weapon that could silently spread death without a single explosion. Now take a moment to think about biological weapons. These are not your typical bombs or bullets, but rather invisible and insidious agents of destruction. Biological weapons have been in existence for centuries, with their earliest known use dating back to the Middle Ages when armies would catapult plague-ridden corpses over city walls. Today, the technology behind these weapons has evolved significantly, and they now have the potential to unleash deadly diseases on a scale previously unimaginable. These weapons operate by utilizing a variety of disease-causing organisms or toxins. Bacteria, viruses, or other biological agents can be deliberately released to cause illness or death in people, animals, or plants. These can range from anthrax spores to genetically modified viruses, each with their own unique and terrifying impacts. One of the most concerning aspects of biological weapons is their potential for widespread and uncontrollable dissemination. An outbreak of a highly infectious disease could quickly spread across borders, causing widespread illness and death. And unlike a nuclear explosion, a biological attack might not be immediately apparent, making it even more difficult to respond effectively. Furthermore, the unpredictable nature of biological agents adds another layer of danger. Biological weapons don't discriminate between combatants and civilians, between the young and the old. They can mutate and evolve, becoming even more potent or resistant to treatment. This unpredictability, coupled with their potential for mass casualties, makes biological weapons a particularly worrisome threat. Moreover, the use of such weapons could have profound psychological effects. The fear and panic that a biological attack could incite may cause societal disruption on a massive scale, far beyond the immediate physical harm. Such is the threat of biological weapons, unseen killers that could change the face of warfare. The prospect of these invisible and silent killers should serve as a stark reminder of the need for vigilance, preparedness, and international cooperation in the face of such insidious threats. In the realm of zeros and ones, a new kind of weapon emerges. This weapon, known as a cyber weapon, operates in the digital world, yet its impact can be felt profoundly in our physical reality. Cyber weapons are sophisticated tools designed to manipulate, disrupt, or destroy computer systems, networks, and infrastructures. They can paralyze a city's power grid, disrupt communication systems, compromise national security data, and even interfere with the operations of critical infrastructures like hospitals and transportation networks. And all this can be done remotely, often without the attacker even stepping foot on the target's soil. What makes cyber weapons particularly worrisome is their stealthy nature. Unlike conventional weapons, they leave no physical trace and can be deployed without warning. They can lurk within a system for months, even years, silently gathering information or waiting for the perfect moment to strike. As our world becomes increasingly interconnected through digital networks, our vulnerability to these attacks escalates. Our homes, workplaces, and public spaces are filled with devices connected to the internet, creating countless entry points for potential cyber attacks. The advent of the Internet of Things, where everyday objects are embedded with technology to send and receive data, further expands this digital battlefield. But it's not just about the disruption of services or theft of information. The real danger lies in how these attacks can destabilize nations. By sowing discord, spreading misinformation, or manipulating public opinion, cyber attacks can influence elections, spark social unrest, and undermine trust in institutions. In a way, they can shake the very foundations of democracy without resorting to physical violence. And yet, despite their destructive potential, these weapons are not governed by any international treaty or convention. This lack of regulation makes it difficult to prevent their use or to hold perpetrators accountable, further complicating the global cybersecurity landscape. Thus, cyber weapons represent an invisible threat, capable of wreaking havoc without a single shot fired. They remind us that in the digital age, the battlefield is not limited to land, sea, or air. It now extends into the virtual world where wars can be waged with nothing more than lines of code. When war machines think for themselves, what could possibly go wrong? As we move further into the 21st century, this question becomes increasingly pertinent. Advanced autonomous weaponry, including drones and robotic systems, are rapidly becoming a reality on the battlefield, and with them come a host of ethical and security concerns. These weapons are designed to operate independently, making decisions based on programmed algorithms. Some can even learn from their experiences, adapting their strategies in real time through a process known as machine learning. This raises a critical question. What happens when a weapon, rather than a human, decides when and where to strike? The use of advanced autonomous weaponry could potentially reduce the risk to human soldiers and increase the efficiency of military operations. However, the flip side of this coin is the risk of unintended consequences. What if a drone misinterprets a civilian gathering as a military target, or a robotic system fails to recognize a ceasefire and continues to attack? Beyond the immediate physical dangers, there's the psychological impact to consider. Warfare is already a traumatic experience, and the presence of autonomous weapons could exacerbate this. Imagine the terror of knowing you're being hunted by a machine that never tires, never fears, and never shows mercy. And then there's the question of accountability. If an autonomous weapon causes collateral damage or commits a war crime, who is to blame? The programmer who wrote the algorithm, the commanding officer who deployed the weapon, or the machine itself? The potential for advanced weaponry to revolutionize warfare is undeniable. But with great power comes great responsibility. We must carefully consider the ethical implications and potential risks before embracing these technologies wholeheartedly. Advanced weaponry, autonomous and intelligent, may well be the future of warfare, but at what cost? As we grapple with this question, we must remember that the ultimate aim of any weapon should be to preserve peace, not to wage war. The most dangerous weapon, after all, is the one that's used without forethought or restraint. So, what is the most dangerous weapon? We've journeyed through the chilling world of biological weaponry, the ghostly realms of cyber warfare, and the uncannily autonomous domain of advanced weaponry. Each of these weapons, in their own right, poses significant threats to our world, be it through the potential for widespread disease, the destabilization of crucial infrastructures, or the risk of unintended consequences from AI-driven machines. Yet, when we step back and consider the question at hand, we find that the most dangerous weapon isn't necessarily the most destructive. It's not the one that can level cities or wipe out populations with a single strike. No, the most dangerous weapon is far more subtle and, paradoxically, far more potent. It's the weapon that can be deployed with unsettling ease, slipping under the radar of even the most vigilant defenses. It's the weapon that doesn't discriminate between soldier and civilian, between guilty and innocent. It's the weapon that leaves long-lasting scars, not on our landscapes but on our societies, our cultures, our very humanity. This weapon is not forged from uranium or coded into malicious software. It's not assembled in secret labs or dispatched from remote drone bases. It's a weapon that we all carry within us, a weapon that can be wielded by any of us, at any time. In the end, The most dangerous weapon may not be a bomb or a bullet, but an idea. The idea that destruction brings resolution. Perhaps the real weapon we need to fear is our propensity for violence itself. So let's question our assumptions, challenge our beliefs, and strive for a world where our most powerful weapons are not those of destruction, but those of understanding, empathy, and peace.